What's up YouTube? It's Young Man's Daily Red Pill back in here with another video. Thank you guys for clicking on today's video, liking the content, sharing the content, help me spread this Red Pill message. Appreciate you guys. Anyways, great topic today. We're going to be talking about considering the source of where you get your information from when it comes to women, female nature, dating in general, and everything involving the opposite gender and how to deal with them with this knowledge. All right, you have to understand, for the most part, a lot of guys on YouTube and this side of the manosphere, you want to call it that, they deal with women from a point of view and a perspective that's different than yours as the viewer. All right, a lot of these guys have already established their careers, and this is something you do on the side as a part-time job, as a hobby, to get extra income and help you guys out, help motivate you guys, write books, help them publish more books and get more clientele. This is something they do on the side of an established career. While you might be a younger guy viewing this, you haven't established a career yet. You haven't even scrape the surface of your potential and what you can be. All right, so it's important to understand, like, listen, these guys are telling me to do this, X, Y, and Z. You have some guys talking about making a certain amount of approaches every day, approaching women every single day, like it should be on the list to do, like get up, take a shit, eat breakfast, eat lunch, and then make 50 to 100 approaches a day. No. Like I say, get off the dating apps. Stop approaching women until you've established yourself. And even then, I don't even think you should be approaching women. I let women approach me and come to me. And you should have that same mindset. All right? Yeah, she might give off choosing signals, and then it makes a warm approach where you kind of already can feel her out and you can understand, like, listen, this girl's into me. I can read it off of that. But you have to understand, a lot of these guys, they're telling you their advice from their perspective, which is the perspective of they're already established in whatever they did, so they're already receiving attention because they've established themselves. So instead of telling you guys, listen, you have to do this, this, and this, they're just telling you go out, make as many approaches as possible. No, don't do that. Do not do that. Figure out what you want to do and what you want to get out of life first. All right? Like I say, you shouldn't even be dating if you're living at home. You shouldn't be dating if you don't have any money saved up, if you don't have a job, all these different things. If you have not yet figured out what you want to do specifically with your life. And when it comes to a lot of these guys also, they won't tell you they're tall, all right? They won't tell you they are tall people. I am 6'9". And for me to come onto this platform, it's the reason I receive a lot of hate, but it's also the reason I feel like the channel has blown up, so to speak. It's slowing down slightly because of some YouTube issues, but I've emailed them. The reason they won't tell you, because they're tall, that's the real reason they're very successful with women. All right, height definitely helps a lot. All right, it does. However, yes, you can be awkward and tall, and it will hurt your chances of getting women. But there's countless times where I'm just at a place, at a venue, chilling, minding my business, not looking for choosing signals, not looking for women in general, and I'm by myself. And it's just because of my height that I have women approaching me. I have women giving me certain signals, if you want to call it that, coming to me. But these guys on YouTube, they won't necessarily tell you these things. All right? These women, they will go after looks, especially nowadays. We live in a society where women are extremely superficial. Well, society in general superficial, but women in general, they will gravitate towards superficial things, all right? And whether that's a high social media status, a following on social media, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, the way you look, certain facial features, your potential to bring in money and fame and status into her life. Those are all things that they look at. But what really frustrates me is you have guys online that are saying you need to do this many approaches, this many times, and say this many words and do these different things. And they're like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". They're tall guys. They're already getting choosing signals just based on their height, because we know the female mind, the number one thing they look for is provisioning, protection. They want to pass on the best genes possible to the next generation of children that they bring into this world. So they need to find a viable suitor that looks good, all right? That looks healthy, that's tall, that has a good build to himself. So these guys, yes, they got there and they're established or whatever. You have to understand they're in a totally different realm than you. So for them to do that, sure, they can do it. But what you should do is focus on what matters, which is you right now in this moment becoming better than the man you were yesterday and continuing to improve each and every single day. It doesn't matter how many times you go out and you say this line, you say that line, you approach this many chicks. You're going to get rejected regardless, all right? And especially you're going to get rejected if you have nothing to offer, if you have no value. And it doesn't matter where other people's value, where their value comes from you. Your value should come from yourself, all right? It should come from you. And if you're religious, it should come from God, all right? Above all things, it doesn't matter what other people think of you in society. All of this is just fake. People buy fake cars to look cool. People buy fake Instagram followers to get their following up. People buy their way to clout. People buy all types of different things in order to stunt. New houses. They're leasing all these different boats. It's all just a bunch of BS. Do you want to really have to track and keep up with all those things and keep up with someone and people that don't really care about you? Or would you rather just look out for yourself, have that peace of mind that you don't owe any bills at the end of the day, you don't owe this X, Y, and Z because you're trying to flex on your neighbors? I would rather personally focus on myself right now. And then, hey, if anything happens, if anything comes around, you know what? That's fine. But right now, I'm going to focus on myself and I'm going to get to where I want to be. I'm not going to be worried about what the modern 2020 female is concerned about, because honestly, 99.9% of these women couldn't care less about you. They only see you as a resource and utility to boost their status and ego to get to a higher value man than yourself, because there's always a higher value status man that can enter her life. Welcome to the age of the internet, which is why pickup dating coaches, all these guys, they're all crashing. They're all going to eventually, this is a dying business for them. This is the way of the future. Focusing on yourself is the way of the future. Going your own way in terms of how you want to live your life without pleasing other people, without constantly having to suck up to a boss that you don't like, without having to work corporate America the rest of your life and commute and spend most of your life driving in traffic, asleep, and then going home with your kids and your nagging wife that's gaining weight by the second, when you could just be lifting weights, staying at home, working for yourself, creating some type of side hustle. Shoot, when I first made this channel, I did not think I was going to be doing this every single day and actually making something of it and potentially writing a book soon. I didn't think I was going to be doing this. And if I was still chasing women or the attention of the modern woman, I would not be where I am today in terms of subscriber count, which is, it's not anything ridiculously crazy, but hey, I'm grateful, guys. I'm almost at 50K subscribers and I've only been here for half a year. So I appreciate that support. And it's mind-blowing how much more effective and efficient life gets when you solely focus on what you want out of it and what you want out of life. And listen, I'm not saying ignore and hate women forever, but right now in this period of time, you can control your urges. Just hold it off, all right? Because I know some of you guys still, you can't control yourself. Hold it off. Hold it off and focus solely on investing in yourself and building something so you don't just get stuck in the rat race like the rest of society, because you're better than that. And you deserve better than that. And no one's going to tell you this because they want you to buy into the narrative of buying a course or building the type of woman for you when you should just be building yourself. All right, that's what I want to share with you guys. Focus on yourself, focus on your purpose, and listen. A lot of these guys, they already were established. They're looking at things from a different perspective. They're older than you. They're in marriages, they're in relationships. They're not actually still in the field like a lot of us are, and they're not single like a lot of us are. So let me just put it that way. Hopefully this inspires someone out there. Hopefully this can motivate you to focus more on yourself if you were still wavering back and forth, because a lot of times there's a lot of distractions out there and people that have good intentions that don't necessarily have your best intentions, and they would rather just get a quick buck out of you in your loneliness than tell you what it is and tell you the real reason why they've attracted women. All right? Have a good one, guys. Stay blessed.